Pickle, let's go ahead and go to the hotline. And let's bring in the director of on-campus recruiting of those Rice Owls, Miss Jessica Morrey. Jess, how you doing?
Hey, doing well. How are y'all?
Good, good. Super excited to have you on. I'm sure this your busy season, with recruiting and everything, but thanks for taking the time for us to hop on our show.
Oh, yeah. Anytime for y'all and for Dave Campbell's. Happy to help.
Absolutely. First off, I want to start off with this. I feel like you have just been everywhere. You've just developed a ton of experience in the sports field. So for those of you that don't know you very well, kind of just give us a quick overview of who you are and just kind of your background in sports.
Yeah, I've kind of had an interesting career path to get to where I am now. But graduated from Oklahoma State with a degree in sports media broadcast journalism, and then got my first job in TV in lovely Denison, Texas, Market 161. Shout out K10. And then moved from K10 to KCEN in Waco. Worked there as a sports reporter, weekend sports anchor for a couple of years, and then got out of local TV, went back to Oklahoma State to be the team reporter, producer for all Oklahoma State athletics, and then was there for a few years, and now down in Houston working with the Rice Owls in the recruiting department, something I've been wanting to do for probably about 4 to 5 years. Took me a really long time to break into the recruiting world. And just when I was about to give up, Mike Bloomgren brought me in. So it was awesome. So super excited to be a part of the Owl family down there in Houston.
Now, before we get to the recruiting side of stuff, I want to mention, you've done, like you just said, you've done the local reporting. You were also Oklahoma State's team reporter. So what was your favorite part of that, kind of working on that side of the sports world?
Well, in TV, I loved, getting to tell the stories and getting to, just be with the high school teams. I was really drawn to high school football, especially in the state of Texas, obviously big deal. So really just being able to be really involved with those teams and following their seasons. And you really are on the ground floor with them. You're there at two-a-days, and then you get to go to their games, and then you're there when they, hopefully make it really far in the playoffs. And the ones that do make it to state and they win, you feel like you were a tiny little part of that too. You got to be there. You got to see it happen. You got to tell the stories, and you got to celebrate. And I think that's the great thing about local sports. That's the great thing about Texas high school football. And I know when I moved to Oklahoma State, I was so sad. I was missing out. I know I moved, I think, in May. And then once August rolled around in September, there would be post Friday nights where I'd be talking to high school coaches I used to cover and recapping their games and just being like, oh, what happened? Oh, yeah, fill me in on this, and just finding out all that information beyond the score and trying to listen to as much as I could. And then, of course, trying to watch Valley Sports and watch the highlights and everything. So, getting to be part of that was really cool. And then at Oklahoma State, getting to tell the stories of the amazing athletes there, and getting to build relationships with them and celebrate those victories as well. Being with all athletics was really cool, not just football. So getting to, celebrate when the softball team went to the Women's College World Series, celebrating with football at the Fiesta Bowl, things like that. Just really, really cool experiences for sure.
Yeah, you've really been immersed with it all. I mean, you've really done it all at such a young age, which is really, really admirable. Like you said, you're finally now working in your dream job of recruiting. I mean, you get to work with these athletes day in and day out. I mean, you've really discovered your passion for the recruiting side of things. So what's been the most rewarding part of this job for you so far?
It's just been really being able to build the relationships with not only our prospective student athletes, but also our current student athletes, our current football players, getting to really be a part of something. And that's just been so much fun, and getting to watch, it's so great. We brought in 4 mid-year players for the first time ever for Rice football. Rice has never had mid-year athletes come in. It's very hard academically, so it's very difficult to succeed. And they had to come in and, speak with the athletic director and go through all of these different processes to be able to be a mid-year athlete. And we had 4 of them come in and getting, to watch them kind of get acclimated. And those are the guys that, they were part of the class before I got there, but I really got to build the relationships with them throughout the summer and the fall, and then getting to see them there and watch them succeed has been so cool. And I'm so excited to see, as spring ball goes on, what they can do. And then even the transfer portal, we've got transfer guys that I didn't, recruit them out of high school. I didn't know them, but being able to quickly build relationships with them has been awesome. And then just getting, nowadays with the portal, you obviously have to recruit your current athletes as well. So, putting an emphasis on building strong relationships with the players has been, really special. And I think I've recently gone through a crazy surgery situation and have been kind of away from the team for a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm on my way back though. Everything's great. But, everyone reaching out and, everyone, they all made a big sign for me when I was in the hospital, and they all signed it, and they've texted and DM'd and reached out. And that's been really special to know that I've only been there not even a year, and everyone, feels compelled to reach out and check in on me, which I really, really appreciate. And so that's been, that's really showed me kind of, you're part of the team,
Mm-hmm. Well, and even before this, Ashley was saying that on International Women's Day yesterday, the Rice Owls put out a graphic for you guys kind of celebrating that day, which was really cool. You can tell that they care so much about you guys. I've always been really interested in the recruiting side of things, much like you, just kind of seeing how the process works and everything. So I'm interested in asking you, what does a day in the life of Jessica Morrey look on a normal Tuesday afternoon?
On a normal Tuesday, depending on, what type of recruiting period we're in the dead period, it's a lot more chill. But, if we're in visit season, it can get pretty hectic. My main job is being, somewhat in constant contact with our prospective student athletes who we've offered or who are planning on coming on visits, who we're interested in, or who, may have already committed and they're going to come visit for a day. I plan the entire day. So if it's an unofficial, it's from I give a recruiting presentation that we have put together. Rice is obviously different than a lot of schools. There's a lot of, academic stats and facts and things that we like to put in that presentation. And then, highlight videos, interviews with players and stuff also go into it. And then, facility tours. We do a campus tour on our, Cadillac of golf carts and awesome. Take the guys around just our beautiful campus, which obviously, if you've ever been to Rice's campus, it's lined with these oak trees throughout the whole campus. You're always in the shade, which is unbelievable in a place like Houston. And it's just such a beautiful campus. So getting to take them around and see that. And then we'll go, Rice Village is right there. So we're able to pop over for lunch and then things like that. And then come back and meet with the coaches. And if there's practice, we take them to practice and stuff like that. So when there's a visit, it's a full day. When there's an official visit, it's a full, weekend of I do the airport pickup. I take them to the hotel, get them checked into the hotel, pick them back up for likely dinner. We all go to dinner, plan the dinner. I make the reservations, get everything situated, take them back to the hotel after dinner, or if they go out with their player hosts, set all that up as well. And then, the next day we hit the ground running with all of the information and the presentation and things like that. And then it's a lot of, the official visits are really busy, but a lot of fun. And we're in Houston, so we get to eat some really, really, really good food that I would really never get to eat on my own. So that part is super fun. And just getting, to talk with the moms and the dads and the families and, getting to hear from them about their sons' experiences and things like that. Rice, again, is a little different. We don't give out a lot of official visits. it's, you know, we don't official visit anybody and everybody. You have to be able to get into the school. You have to be, it has to be a certain time of year for us. If you're a transfer portal player, you know, it's pretty rigorous to be able to get an official visit with us. So when we do, we kind of go all out, and, you know, it's a really, really fun time. But whenever there's not anybody on campus, I'm usually at practice. I'll help fill in, you know, on creative side and take photos, do things like that. I'll be down at practice, which is so cool. It's different than a lot of places. Is when we're practicing, the entire staff is out on the practice field.
Oh, wow.
So there's
awesome.
not a person in our building. Don't come rob us. But there's not a person
awesome.
in our building. You know, everyone goes out to watch, even if you have I have nothing to do with on the field, you know, but I'm out there watching and seeing what's going on, and we're all out there, and it's kind of just, you know, a fun part of the day where we be outside and we watch the guys, and I find that pretty unique that we're all out there together.
No doubt. And obviously, we've addressed the fact that Rice is different in just a lot of different ways, and there is so many more boxes you have to check to be able to go play there. I'm interested, between you and the rest of the recruiting staff, when you do land the recruit that you really, really wanted to land, I mean, that's got to be just the best feeling, because there's a program like Alabama where they just kind of expect to do that. There's,
right,
you know, you can get a 5-star whenever they want it. Rice has to put in a lot more work to figure out stuff about the kids and their grades and all of that. Is that like moral victory of knowing that you landed a kid that's going to be perfect for Rice and Rice is going to be perfect for them? Like, how good is that feeling?
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, we'll meet a kid and we'll be like, that's a Rice kid. You know, he's going to fit in here, and he's going to fit in with our guys and with our group. And I don't think we've ever, you know, with the kids that we brought in and signed with our 23 class, you know, they're able to kind of get in and immediately make friends. Like, they're with the group right away. Like, everyone loves them. And it's awesome to, you know, to see that, because it's not, Rice is, like you said, different. It's not a bunch of guys that are, you know, fighting for NIL deals or fighting to make more money than the other. They like to play football and they like to get good grades. I mean, it's awesome. So that brings a big group together when you believe education is important. You believe playing really good football is important. It's easy to kind of mesh with our kind of group. So it's really awesome to see that. And yeah, when we get commitments from some people, you think, oh, maybe, you know, they wouldn't normally come to Rice, and then they do, and we're like, yes, and they're going to fit in so well. And it was, so I remember we had our 2023 class, we had our official visit weekend, and it was our big weekend. We brought in 19 recruits for a full weekend. It was all of our commits for the entire class. So we brought them in, and there was one that had not committed yet. And we were like, oh, come on, we got to get them. And, you know, we made it now. We're like, all right, we got to get you. You know, we're going to get you. You're going to join this group. Why would you not want to? You're about to make 18 other best friends right now. And so in the end, you know, I have a group chat with all of them, and I was texting them. And then I added, at the end of the visit, I added his number to the group chat. And everyone was like, oh, what's going on? Oh my God, did he come? Oh my God, really? And then they're all sending like the eyes emojis and all these gifts, and they're all so excited. And then he like chimed in and was like, I'm committed. And everyone's like, oh my God. And that was just like the coolest thing.
That's pretty cool.
That was awesome to get to see that and be a part of that, and see how they all, you know, they were like, yes, you made the right decision and all this stuff. He had already, you know, those are all of his friends now. So we're so excited, you know, to finish that weekend off with having everyone committed for our whole 23 class was really cool. And then you get transfer guys like JT Daniels, which you're obviously really excited about as well. And you get hyped when you, you know, get those guys to sign and to commit to us, and getting, you know, it's a different kind of excitement, because, you know, he's not going to be here as long as our incoming freshman, but he's going to make an immediate impact. And, you know, it's really cool. It's something that I found interesting that Coach Bloom told me early on in the season, this past season. We were talking about, it was after a game, and Oklahoma State had won a big game. And he was like, man, big win for Oklahoma State. And I was like, yeah, I was like, this was early on in the season. Let me preface. So at the time it was, will Spencer Sanders win a Heisman? Is Oklahoma State going to go to the college football playoff? Obviously that didn't happen, but it was during that kind of time frame. And so I was like, man, if they go to the college football playoff or Spencer's a Heisman nominee, like I'll be kind of sad. And I was like, but I'm having more fun. Like I'm having a different kind of fun, like more fun down here. And he's like, I'm sure everything you did at Oklahoma State was great. He's like, I know your stories were great. I know everyone loved them. The interviews, all of that stuff's very important. But he's like, it didn't have a direct impact on the program or what is happening on the field.
Mm-hmm, right.
And he's like, what you do here you're directly impacting our program. That's and awesome. The future of our program. And you have an impact on what happens on the field. And I'm like, what a great perspective. And that's awesome. So I always think about that. And I always appreciated him saying that. That was just such a kind of a cool perspective moment for me.
That's very cool.
We're big fans of Bloom over here. There's no doubt about that.
I got to give Bloom a shot. I mean,
he's awesome.
I've never experienced a boss or someone like him. And throughout this other thing that I've been going through, he texts every single day to check in and make sure I'm doing okay. I think he missed one day, and then he texted me, and then I said, I thought you forgot about me. And he's like, oh my God, I go 24 hours without texting you, and you think I forgot. And so now he makes sure he texts me every single day to check in and make sure everything's good. And I'll forever appreciate that.
That's awesome. Well, she is Miss Jessica Morrey, Director of On-Campus Recruiting down there in Houston for those Rice Owls. You can follow her on Twitter at Jessica Morrey. Jess, thanks so much for joining us. I know that you're not really in your busy season right now, but you're still down there, recovering from a tough time. So we wish you the best of luck this year, and hopefully we get to Houston sometime soon to see you.
Yeah, we got coaching school in Houston this year. We got the
That's
coaching
right. It's in you guys' backyard.
Houston, yeah. So I'm thinking, there might be a Rice event involved that y'all will definitely have to come to.
I love it.
So we're super excited about that. Cannot wait. So
get better, Jess.
Yeah. Thanks, Jess.